Hi, this is Bill Monroe of Project Portfolio Excellence Incorporated, and this is part one of a new video series, Implementing Project Portfolio Excellence. The title of this first part is Change Metrics, Change Behavior. In this series of videos, we're going to talk about how you can start moving toward Project Portfolio Excellence, no matter where you are today. Hopefully you've taken the opportunity to watch some of the other Project Portfolio Excellence videos that have been posted. For example, the Introduction to Project Portfolio Excellence and the 5-part How Quality Software Happens series. That series gets into more depth into the tools and techniques, the strategy and the methodology of Project Portfolio Excellence. In an earlier video, I stated that there are 3 stages in moving to Project Portfolio Excellence. The first stage is education, and there's a lot of material available through the previous videos, through the blog, through the website, white papers. There's all kinds of material available to help you understand how projects succeed and also why projects fail. So if you've gone through the previous material and you've gotten this far, I'm assuming that you're ready to move to the next step. The second stage in moving to Project Portfolio Excellence is elucidation, or learning why your projects are failing. There could be many reasons that account for the results you're currently getting, and the only way you'll know what your particular challenges are is to analyze your current results using the tools of Project Portfolio Excellence, namely the Project Triad, the Project Trinity, and the Logical Life Cycle. Now I want to take a quick side trip here and answer one of the responses that I've received more than once when it comes to Project Portfolio Excellence. Some people have responded and said, well, that all sounds great, but it's just not the world that we live in. When people respond that way, it makes me think, well, yeah, but the world in which we live is one where only 32% of our projects can be considered to be successful. Project Portfolio Excellence is aimed, it's targeted at people who are sick and tired of the world we live in when it comes to project and software results. I'm assuming that you are in that category since you're still listening. So now let's get into the meat of implementing Project Portfolio Excellence. The title of this video is Change Metrics, Change Behavior. Now what behavior is it that we're trying to change? The first behavior that we really need to address is our instinctive impulse to blame somebody when something goes wrong. The first step in changing that behavior is for everyone to take to heart truth number 93, that project failure is a process problem. It's not a people problem. So whenever we have something go wrong with a project, we need to be asking the question, what was deficient in our process that allowed this to happen? This is a perfectly reasonable position to take. In fact, it's the only reasonable position to take because, as you'll remember, truth number 47 says that neither business nor IT can successfully execute projects without the other. This supports the idea that effective collaboration has to happen between business and IT in order for projects to be successful. And collaboration can't happen without trust between all the parties involved. And trust can't happen if folks are afraid they're going to be blamed for bad results. Establishing that trust, establishing collaboration, puts us exactly where we need to be. It gives us an understanding that when a project fails, it's everybody's fault. We all own the process together. Senior managers, business professionals, technology professionals, all of us have to add our unique perspectives and expertise in order to succeed with projects that, quite frankly, are becoming more complex and more difficult every day. So we've identified the most destructive behavior that exists in almost every organization, and we've identified why that behavior needs to be changed. We need to change our instinct to incriminate into an obsession for collaboration. And if we're not able to do that, we will continue to fail with our software and projects. So how do we encourage better collaboration? We talk a lot about it, but we really don't achieve it. You'll remember the old saying, you get what you measure. And truth number 95 states the reason we don't collaborate effectively is because we don't measure how effectively we collaborate. And truth number 96 states that to improve the effectiveness of business and IT collaboration, start measuring the effectiveness of business and IT collaboration. We have to come up with a measurement that will allow us to get constant feedback as to how well our business folks and IT folks are collaborating to achieve the results we want to achieve with our software and projects. The problem we have with the measurements taken by most companies today is that they're not holistic in nature. They tend to measure only parts of the overall process instead of measuring the output of the process as a whole. This is why we often have a situation where after the project is ended, IT looks down at its checklists and its measurements and says, well, we did everything that the process said we needed to do, and yet business complains because they didn't receive the benefits, the value, the functionality, or the quality that they expected. This is precisely the type of situation where we need to be able to analyze the process as a whole to see where, in the course of the process, the breakdown occurred. We need to always keep in mind that it doesn't matter how flawlessly you execute a flawed process. So how should we be measuring our software development and project management lifecycle processes? Truth number 97 states that collaborative effectiveness is best measured by the quality and the fitness for use of the final product. If you accept everything we've talked about up until now, then you would accept that if our project doesn't meet its objectives, it's because of issues with our process. And those process issues fall into one of two categories. Either we're executing an ineffective process, or we're ineffectively executing the process. Whichever one it is a process issue. We can use this information as our feedback mechanism to drive continuous improvement. If we monitor our software development and project management lifecycle processes, then whenever we see that we're not meeting our quality and fitness for use objectives, we can use the tools and techniques of project portfolio excellence, the project triad, the project trinity, the logical lifecycle, to determine where our process is breaking down. I want to cover one other topic in this first video of implementing project portfolio excellence. You'll remember that truth number 1 of project portfolio excellence states that the causes of project failure are easy to diagnose and simple to understand. Well, I've had some really smart people write back to me after reading truth number 1 and saying, well, no, there are millions of causes for project failure. It's a very complex issue. I've given a lot of thought to this feedback, and I've come up with the following model to explain truth number 1 and to support it. We all know that you can take the three primary colors, blue, green, and red, and mix them together in various levels of intensity to create millions of colors. Well, I maintain the same thing is true when it comes to project failure. You can take the three primary ingredients of project failure, which are lack of skill, lack of will, and lack of capacity, and combine them in various levels of intensity to create millions of flavors of project failure. We get into trouble when we get distracted by the noise of all of those combinations of ingredients. We need to get beyond the point of thinking of each combination of ingredients as being a unique cause of project failure. We need to see beyond the combination and start to consider how the lack of skill, the lack of will, and the lack of capacity have combined to cause our project to miss its objectives. When we can stop trying to analyze each of the millions of flavors of project failure and instead concentrate on the contributions of the three primary ingredients, then the causes of project failure will become easy to diagnose and simple to understand. This concludes part 1 of the Implementing Project Portfolio Excellence series. I hope that you've enjoyed the material. Feel free to contact me via email or telephone if you have questions or comments. This is a growing body of knowledge, and I'm really hoping that I can get some folks involved in the conversation so we can start improving the way that we manage enterprise software and software-related projects. I'm planning on future installments in this series. There's also the How Quality Software Happens series of videos. Visit the website and the blog and ask yourself, are you satisfied with the results you're getting from your enterprise software and software-related projects? If not, Project Portfolio Excellence may be able to help you improve.